So I first started up basically sitting down to play video games. I got my nice food here, and I'm probably going to play a video game here and watch YouTube on my second monitor. Then all of a sudden a video pops up. Sweet Baby Ink burns as the Actman is Runneth. I do not like HeelVsBabyface. I do not. I find him to be more of a kind of a... I find you to be a clown. You went absolutely nuts on pronouns, and you got burned for it. Where all the internet roasted you for it, and I figured it was deserved. You came in with an emotional argument just like SJWs did from years past. And so I saw it, would sometimes see things about it and people overreacting, and you became the poster child of an anti-SJW becoming an actual SJW by running off on emotions and emotions only. And I basically would egg on that, and every single time somebody would bring you up, I'd get hit with, oh, they live in your head rent-free. I'd see that a lot. But just like Anita Sarkeesian, whenever the stupid take would be had, we'd bring her up, and we'd criticize her, and good reason so, we criticized you. So, I get everything all queued up, click on the YouTube, and that video pops up. I don't know why it did, probably because I follow the Sweet Baby stuff, and my god, that's a fucking travesty. And they're getting their tongue lashing as they deserve, because Sweet Baby is a terrible company. But the thing is, I look at this video and think, oh, he's just going to do a anti-Sweet Baby thing. Most of this video is done primarily involving the Actman, of him just finding out about it and basically saying he doesn't like it. But you are so mad and incensed that you got fucking clowned on by him, which blew it up to get clowned on by everyone, that you made this video. I don't get it. I really don't understand why you would do this. And want to know the reason why you made it? We'll tune in and I'll show you.
We were clearly mortified. One of the reasons why it caught so much fire was actually this tweet from the Actman. Gorilla-shaped man, silverback baby, on the verge of crying because Starfield lets you pick pronouns at the start of the game and then is never brought up again. So why is it in the first place?
If anything was more involved about it, you'd be definitely complaining a lot harder. Pronouns ultimately just kind of tossed in a game that's open world, and customization, full customization options, is just nice. The world is more than just you. I'm an LGBT man. I like seeing representation if done well. If it's crowbarred in and about as subtle as a car crash, I don't want that. I don't like Sweet Baby Ink, because it makes us all look like fucking assholes. I don't want that. I'm happy to see Sweet Baby get burned to the ground, and I hope companies never use them. But, moving on.
Oh, okay, don't worry about it. Don't answer that question. Somebody please shoot this guy with a bear tranquilizer. He's going to attack somebody. The only thing, of course, that I was attacking was their pathetic ideology. However, it continues.
How do you think that's his ideology? He's essentially having the idea that optional pronouns in a game that you can choose or not is a nice thing. And you lost your mind about it. Holy shit.
Continued. Oi! HeelVsBabyface is great. Just a passionate person speaking his mind like many other creators out there. The Actman replies, he's great at making people that criticize pronoun use look like a bunch of shit-eating cavemen. I'd love to see pronouns in every game moving forward for no other reason than spite and to watch this guy's world melt. My goodness me, I sure hope that doesn't come back later to bite you in the ass.
Let's talk about spite. But know what? We'll save that for later. And do you really think that he wants the fucking video game industry to burn down? This man makes video game content all the damn time. That's fucking disingenuous as shit as he wants that. No, he's just fine with pronouns and representation in a video game, as I am. As long as it's not, as said before, done shittily. A flag in a game, or the option to choose pronouns, it also kind of depends on the game. The pronouns thing wouldn't really work in, say, a medieval fantasy. But in a space game where we got jetpacks and there's political intrigue, yeah, I think it would. If I drive around my small rural Michigan town, I find 2 houses have LGBT flags. And one of them has a trans flag as well. That's real life, man. I see it. And I don't get mad, and I think if anyone got mad about that, you're fucking soft. Just in the same way as if somebody drove by a house and saw a Christian flag or an American flag and just got angry about it. Those people are soft and can piss off too. Moving on.
After all, you are saying that you would like to see the whole of the Western gaming industry burn to the ground because of ideology, because out of spite, your own words, spite, you would like to see it all burn to the ground. That says everything that people need to know about you, not me. I want to speak out against this infestation in the Western gaming industry.
Which is well and all good, but if you make yourself and the rest of us look like absolute fucking fools, then what's the point? But the thing is, you don't see yourself that you've done it and made yourself look like a fool. You don't see that. And that's what irks me. That's what irks him. That's what irks a lot of us.
You'd rather see it destroyed to stick it to somebody who disagrees with you ideologically. Absolutely pathetic. Summed up perfectly by Salty Cracker here. That says more about you than you understand. Oh, by the way, I realized that I had a cum stain on my hair.
I don't like this joke, but we're gonna leave it in.
But
for
I think
a
I
reason.
got rid of it now. Tastes mintier than I thought it would. That's weird.
And this is the funny thing.
And then we talk about Eric, and then you talk about more about investment firms. They get more money from it, from BlackRock and the whole nine, by just, doing it. But that's not what I'm here for. Which, all right, so let's go over to here. Let's talk more about Actman. Or have you talk more about Actman?
So I started late in the game, and after loads of people have been speaking about it, but now it's safe to talk about, I'm going to decide to talk about it because I'm actually a big fucking coward, and I only do videos and come out and talk out about things if I think the wind's blowing in the right direction. I might have editorialized slightly.
Damn Skippy, you fucking did. Homie! This man makes video game content all the time. You, It's a Gundam, Yellow Flash, Clownfish TV. You guys cover more of this shit more than he would. He made a video on Helldivers. He does live streams about Red Dead Redemption. This man's channel is not primarily to do stuff like this, so when it trickles down and he gets to it, it's normally after the dust has settled and everything is all done so he can do one nice big sweep up. Is there going to be a Sweet Baby video if there hadn't been already? There's going to be. 100%. And I look forward to seeing it. But the main reason you're mad at him is because he didn't jump on it fucking sooner? Homie! He's on your side! He's against Sweet Baby! You're just mad because he made fun of you? The whole internet made fun of you. From Mudahar to Charlie. You became a lolcow for a little bit. I've seen so many fucking soy jacks of you, it's insane. And it's deserved.
into this Sweet Baby Inc. stuff, and I cannot fathom why game studios would hire a narrative consultant group. Isn't that what lead writers are for? Why not just hire a better writing team and keep it in-house? So the penny still hasn't dropped for him, but don't worry, somebody's going to shove him onto the right direction here, and suddenly everything's going to become clear all of a sudden. It's ESG. Basically, companies like BlackRock and Vanguard, who have $15 trillion in hand, give ratings to each company.
So you explain it to him, and he kind of gets it for the most part.
Social,
but yep, that's understandable.
Factors. Put a lot of
and that's shitty.
I.e.,
and I don't
let's
like
get it right. Or so they consult this firm to basically get a better social credit score with the hopes of getting more investors. I think I just swallowed my own vomit. I don't think that was your own vomit. I think it was another one of your bodily fluids that you excreted. However,
you just made a joke about licking cum off your shirt. You have no place to talk. That is the most stupid and small out of all my complaints here, but it does kind of paint a picture to me of the fact that you'll do something stupid and then make jokes like that. Just makes you look dumb. Like, I'm gay. Well, LGBT, pan technically. And I thought that was fucking weird.
Weren't you the guy that said this? I'd love to see pronouns in every game moving forward for no other reason than spite, and to watch this guy's world melt. Like most content engagement farmers at the time, you didn't understand what was being said.
You run that gauntlet more than he does. You tackle pop culture things more than he does. He normally waits until it's mostly all over before he jumps in on it. The man just does stuff about video games. That's more you than him. And I get it. Get your money, bud. I get it. Hell, you fucking brag about it on Twitter about how there's all these things like the haters are paying for such and such, and you posted a figurine of some sort, which, all right, cool, fine. Get it, bud. But my problem is this. I think you're so far in the weeds about this. I don't know if this is your main job. And if it is, I think you should get another one that involves you going out and talking with more people. I really do. Not because you need financials or whatever. That's not it. It's when you have a real job and deal with other people. Well, this is a job. I can't say real job. When you go out and deal with other people, it puts life in perspective. I remember one day, I don't even remember what I was mad about. I was incensed. It was like some SJW bullshit, something going on, some sort of drama that I don't even remember now. I am a night shift nurse. I work 7P to 7A. I'm tilted by whatever the drama was, and I walk into my work and I watch one of my residents puke on their shoes. And I realized at that moment that this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I am glad that people are standing up against Sweet Baby. I am fiercely glad about that. Because their representation is shit, and they're ran by racists. They're ran by people that defended Zoe Quinn, a woman who made up allegations that were easily disprovable just so she could write for Batman, I think. And the man, Alex Hirsch, I think his name was, killed himself because of it. I like Night in the Woods. That's the game that Alex worked on. And his teams and supposed friends threw him underneath the bus too. And has forever poisoned in my mind that game. That man didn't deserve it. Either way, this kind of hurts. This whole thing. This isn't fully a video about Sweet Baby Inc. This is a video done in spite. Spite and hatred and anger of the Actman for, I believe, justifyingly criticizing you for a really shit take. Really shit take. You remember how in Hogwarts Legacy, there was all these, if people wanted to boycott that game, people want to boycott anything, go right ahead. For whatever reason you believe, as long as you believe it. I didn't mind that. What I minded was people going and basically harassing streamers, decrying. Pikami almost quit VTubing entirely. She came back as Henya later with VShojo because Kayson, her good friend Kayson, talked to her. There was another streamer as well, Silvervale, fucking got harassed into crying. There's been people that were. A website was made. My point to all that was, sometimes in your desire to defend something you believe in, you can do way more damage to it. They did more damage to themselves than transphobes ever could. When actual transphobes point to something, go, look what they did. Look what these trans activists did. And just go, they don't even have to say shit. They just have to point. Just in the same way of people who are SJW types just have to point to you. Just have to look at you. I can understand your tiredness and exhaustion of current political LGBT shit, because truth be told, I get sick of it too. But there's a balance you can strike. As I said before, I'm fine with flags in games. I'm fine with the option of pronouns if it makes sense. Same thing with the flags too. Like, we ain't gonna see gay flags in like a fucking medieval town. That'd be just weird. Would they talk about a gay person in there? Yeah, fine. If it's done well. If it's just like, yeah, me and my boyfriend were here, then the bandits kidnapped them. And then they don't really go on or elaborate further. You just save the boyfriend from the evil bandits. You made the anti-SJW whole thing look like fools. And when I see this, all I see is anger and spite. You have become just as emotional and just off the rocker as SJW were in 2016. I've been around that time, and I remember the Skeptics Society. I remember all that. I watched that shit fall apart through infighting and people just acting overly emotional like this. So yes, people are a lot more vocal and critical than they ever have been, and I think in certain aspects, that's great. But holy shit. That's why people have an issue with it. That's why I have an issue with it. And I have a question to ask you. How much representation in a game would you allow? What is the line? Because I truly want to know. To me, making mention of a character if they're gay in kind of a passing that makes sense, like if it's their spouse and something happened to them, that's fine. A flag, just kind of there. Because fuck, people put flags out to represent themselves all the time. So why would it stop now? In an open world, you can customize your things, the option to use pronouns. Okay, that's nice. Don't overwork yourself too much to try to do that. You don't have to like flip-flop the entire game. Like in the case of Starfield, I'm fairly certain it was built like, well, we don't really use pronouns at all, so what if we give the option to? And then Todd Howard's like, oh, that sounds really nice. We can be inclusive and everything. Because it may not matter to you, but it matters to somebody else. And that's what it's for. Games ain't just for you and about you, bud. Since we love quotes so much, I'll leave off with this one. Beware that when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster. For when you gaze long into the abyss gazes also into you. Nietzsche said that. So that just about sums up the... So that just about sums up this video. I think that this is the most pettiest shit I have seen in a very long time. You didn't do this to lay one on Sweet Baby. You already made that video. You did this out of spite and anger. An emotional response to somebody clowning on you. And I think you deserve to be clowned on. Not saying if death threats are brought up, those are needed, because those are never needed, and you should never assume somebody's chill with that shit. But I wish you well. I hope you get your head right. I hope you get your head out of this fucking fight that you seem to, like... Yeah, you remind me of an old war vet. And I've taken care of many of them in my time. You get so embroiled in something so much that, well, the trees now, leaves are turning blue, and they're now speaking pronouns. And you look like a Mad Hatter trying to fucking wrangle this all in. You're hurting the actual movements themselves. You're making us all look crazy. Actman was right in that. And the fact that you can't see past your own reflection is sad. You can become the monster. You have become the monster. And I think you need to take a good long sit down and just stop. If you want to have a bigger discussion about this, I'd be down to clown for about that one. You could message me, somebody can, I don't know. Because I think what you're trying to do, you believe in it. Nobody wants half-assed bullshit, like current gen shit done horribly. Because we already seen what it did to the comics industry. Movie industry ain't faring much better. Like, how many movies are going to come out and flop before Hollywood goes, yeah, maybe we should start going back to more basic stuff. But anyway, that's about it for me. Y'all take care of yourselves. Daily video uploads at 7A and 7P. Short video game clips. Because I find that stuff a lot of fun. Take care of yourselves out there. Be safe. And good night.